So I said that we would have the pile of shit and we would look at it, right? So let's see what this pile of Harley Davidson shit that I got actually looks like. So here's our front end. As you can see, everything has been destroyed. Front end is shifted to the side, so it's going to need forks. Hopefully not triple trees, but forks are easy enough to come by. Question is, do we do single din or double din? And you see these yellow here, this is me pulling the ignition switches dead. I had no idea how many miles were on this thing when I got it, and we'll talk about what this whole thing costs to build out when we're done, actually with the build. But it's 2007 Harley Street Glide. Seats off of it. Seat's actually over here. It's got a Mustang seat. At least the pillion was built in 2020, so that's not that old. Reinhardt's. It's obviously been in an accident, but Reinhardt's, nice rims. That caliper is going to need to come off, get sandblasted and painted, because that looks like absolute hell. But then again, everything's going to come off of this thing. So we were trying to figure out, oh yeah, would you like a handlebar? Ain't that great? Missing. Well, it's there, it's broken. Tank's bashed to hell. That grip is just totally twisted out someplace else. Yeah. Gas door's missing. Gauges actually work. So, we'll go around the other side here if we can get over the battery charger. Battery was totally dead. Put a charger on it, trickle charger on it for a couple of days, and actually it's kind of brought it around. It's got true duals on it, which are going to come off. It's going to go with a single, it's going to do a 2-in-1. Somebody spent some money on that with these Arlen Ness floorboards. Don't care for them personally. They're going to have to go. But if we actually try to, I think we can see if the thing will fire up. So the ignition switch is totally shot. It's been bashed. The whole front end's been bashed forward, so that ignition switch is busted on the inside. There's less than 60 or 60 bucks for a new one. No big deal. I do have the key for it. Big deal. Who needs a key? So to power this thing up, I kind of have to jumper it, bypass the ignition switch. Give me a second here, I need two hands. And this isn't working very well. So let's just see if we can set this down here briefly. And hopefully you see what's going on. Use two hands. Yes, I know, I should have blades for this, and I will do that in the interim. So, you know, first time I powered it up, pump ran, which was always a good thing. If I get this wire to stay in there, it'll be good to go, and I can't get this wire to stay in there. So, of course, when I turn the camera on, everything goes to shit, which is just about normal for life. Right? There we go. Now, we had it. If it'll stay, it won't stay. God damn it. Pissed me off. So this thing did have, I should say, an aftermarket radio in it. An Aquatics radio, which isn't a bad radio. But believe it or not, even though these handlebars are kind of snapped off, our start switch actually still works. Fires right up. We actually have oil pressure, which is good. So I can't complain. It actually does run. Can't exactly move it because this tire is totally locked up. It's with the front forks being twisted over, this front end this tire is locked up. I need to pull the tire off of it and stuff, but need to get a jack on here first so I can move it around. As you can kind of see with the wife's Street Glide and my Limited, it's a little tight in these damn nasty little Florida garages. But this is the project we're going to be working on, and we're going to film this whole thing. So if I screw it up, when I screw up, that's kind of an obvious, y'all are going to see it too. Yeah? I'm not going to hide anything. They mess it up, it's going to all be caught on film. So hopefully when we do this, we'll get the other bikes out of the way to be able to work on this thing around it, because like I said, it's a little tight right now. So I didn't know the mileage when I got a hold of this thing. It's a crashed bike, obviously, but I got a hold of it, didn't know the mileage. So turns out it's got 27,000 miles on it. 27,047 to be exact, which ain't bad for 2007. Totally ridden. My 2018 Limited, it's got almost 52,000 miles on it, and it's not quite 4 years old yet. This is a 2007. So I'm looking for parts. I know I can get everything I need as far as fairing goes. The front fairing, the forks, not a problem. The one thing that is an issue, actually, believe it or not, is going to be finding a decent tank. This one, as I said, is beat. The bars went into it. I don't know if I can get this good on here or not, but there's a massive dent right in here. Up on top, same thing on the other side, massive dent in it. So we're going to be having to replace the tank, obviously. No big deal, a couple of bolts out it comes. Problem is 2007s with the twin cams, that's got a crossover. Unlike the Milwaukee 8s and the 14s up, don't have the crossovers, and you got rid of it. This still has a crossover on it, so when you go to pull that tank, luckily there's not much in the way of fuel in it, so it's not going to be too bad, but that shit will just pour everywhere. So, you know, and I talked to one of my buddies, Joe. Thank you. I think these actually might be Harley Davidson P&A catalog rims, matching rotors to it. Hopefully the rotors aren't bent or anything like that. We're gonna find out after we get the thing off and maybe get it over onto a truing stand at the dealership or something. I don't have one. Maybe I'll make one up, I don't know. But getting a truing stand on it would be, you know, make sure that wheel is actually straight and everything's copacetic with it. So we'll see. So, you know, subscribe, put your comments down below, tell me I'm an idiot. I know I'm an idiot. There's no question about it. I'm an idiot. I'm not going to debate that. But go ahead and put your comments down below. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell. You'll know when I go and load something up that this thing is totally, you know, screwed to all hell or what. You know, we're going to find out. I'm happy the fact that I got it to run. I didn't know whether this thing ran at all, whether that motor's going to be knocking, what it was going to happen. The guy actually put some money, obviously, into this bike, whoever owned it last. Oh, here's a kind of cool thing. I noticed this. This bike has got a Florida salvage title, okay? However, it came from, and I don't know if I can get in here good on this or not, but that is a North Carolina inspection sticker. So this bike, I think it's 2009 is when this thing came. Yeah, it's 2009. So this bike, even though it might have came from North Carolina originally, it's been in Florida most of its life. I would assume. I don't know the history on it, but we're gonna make this thing work one way or another. So one of the things we've been talking about is, since I got to replace the whole inner and outer fairing, right? Because obviously that is an absolute pile of crap, right? So since I got to remove all of this stuff anyways, the question is, you can actually get a double DIN, so the radio will be more like you would have on the 14 ups, right? A double DIN kind of thing. Now you can't get, well, you could probably figure out how to make a Harley Davidson one work, but why go through that expense? You can get aftermarket marine radios that should work fine with it. It's a matter of the hand controls though. Or you can go with one of these single DINs that are actually intended to be a replacement for the Harley Davidson radio, so all the hand controls work. we are going to paint this bike a different color. Right? It was obviously flamed. Ooh, flames. How absolutely late 90s, early 2000s. So, this bike's going to get painted a different color. When I actually bought my Limited in 2018, the color I really wanted was the Twisted Cherry. This bike is going to become Twisted Cherry. That's why I'm going to paint it. So I know I can get drag specialties, I can get a front fender for it, I can get outer fairing, inner fairing, all that stuff. The rear fender actually doesn't look to have sustained a lot in the way of damage. A little bit of scuffing over here. I don't know if I can get that or not, but there's a little bit of scuffing on the fender extension, but that's plastic. It's not metal. It's not going to rust. It's nothing. It's all going to get sanded down, flex agent in the plastics so that the paint doesn't crack. We're going to do all that stuff. And I'm going to paint it myself. So last time I painted something, it was a car. It was a 1968 Plymouth Barracuda. I love that car. Unfortunately, I sold it when I moved to Florida because I just don't have the room. This is the world's smallest garage full of crap. Absolutely stuffed. You know, every time I moved, I kept downsizing garages from a 24 by 30 pole barn to a 2.5 car extended, a little bit more than 2.5 car, to this barely 2 car 20 by 20. It's kind of like working on a damn shed. But anyways, I appreciate it. Like I said, go ahead and make your comments below. Tell me I'm an idiot. I know I'm an idiot. We're going to make this thing work one way or another. It might not be soon, let's say. It's going to take a while. Parts cost money. Money's hard to come by these days. And then the world's on back order. So with the world on back order, we don't know how long it's going to take for this to actually show up, right? Parts. But I can get most of the stuff I need, but I got to start tearing into it. I want to get a jack, motorcycle jack on wheels so I can move this thing around, you know, get a bike out of the way, spin it sideways so I got some room to work. Exhaust wise, I'm thinking one of two things. I'm thinking either a D&D or Thunderheader is the two that I'm kind of leaning towards. I don't care for a lot of the turnout sideways just in front of the bags. Don't really care for that. Bags are going to be another issue, right? Speaking of bags are going to be another issue. It looks to me, and I haven't, you know, last bike I had this style was a 2013, so it's been a while. But it looks like it had different bag mounts set up on it. I don't know if I can get this, but it's, you know, these things are twisted to all hell. You know, all of them, they're, you know, busted up and whatnot. Same thing on the other side, you know. Bags have been totally twisted. These bag mounts have been twisted up terribly, you know. These things, this one's pointing straight up, this one's pointing out sideways, behind what looks like the docking hardware for a backrest or that. But you know, gonna need saddlebag supports. These things are kind of twisted upward, not supposed to be pointing at that angle. Hopefully it hasn't, you know, too much of a mess back in here. That can be straightened out, you know, a little bit of hammering job on it, and I can probably get that straightened pretty close to where it should be. Yeah, but we'll try. We'll see. The antenna, actually I took the antenna off because I was tired of walking into the damn thing. So, but that's it. That's the heap. The big steamy pile of crap that I'm an idiot for buying. So I appreciate it. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe, that kind of stuff. Hit the bell notification. You'll know when I upload a new cluster, let's call it. Until then, ride fast. You know, Blockhead, if you guys ever watch any of the other motorcycle channels, you know, Shade Tree Mechanic, Blockhead, those guys. In fact, my daughter, let's speak of that one. My daughter might be helping out with this a little bit. She's actually going to MMI right now to become a Harley tech. So we'll see. She's working at Orlando South Harley Davidson right now, doing motorcycle sales. You want a bike? Go to Orlando South, hit her up. Her name's Olivia. She'll sell you whatever you need. She won't upsell you unless you want to finance all your goodies on the bike, and you can do that. But they will say, like Blackhead, ride safe, stay vigilant. Nope. Ride fast, take chances. That's what I'm going to be saying every time we close out. So, have a good one. Ride fast, take chances.